Hello, love. You want to know why the communication pisses him off all the time? It's frustrating. And yeah, you'd like it to be different. So we're going to look into what's the dynamics going on in between the two of you with your communication. Let's see what's coming out from the cards. I have my Heart and Hands Tarot here. What I'm hearing as I'm shuffling for you is if you can make his response something that you have mastery over. In other words, how can you be in your position and not allow his getting pissed off to disrupt your energy? But let's look at what's happening here. We still want to look at that for you, but that's what we want you to see for yourself immediately, is that people are going to feel how they're going to feel about whatever you say, and it has nothing to do with you. So what I already see is he's being triggered. He's being triggered, okay? And triggers exist anywhere where we haven't addressed issues in ourselves. So is it that you're highlighting in his awareness different things inside himself that he needs to address in order to not be triggered anymore? And I hear, and even where that's the case, what control or power do you have over that situation? That's going on internally within him. You really don't have control or power over that. The only one who has control or power over his response to you is him, in fact, alone. Okay. So let's get into these cards I hear. So here we go. What are the messages about this communication for Janine, please and thank you? What are the most valuable messages we have for Janine about this communication that always pisses him off? Now, there's going to be others who watch this reading and you're not Janine, or your name might be Janine. However, this message is for Janine. Some of you have enough resonance with the energy that she's in who are not Janine that purchased this reading, and it's going to resonate in your experience too. So where that happens, you can just say, thanks, Janine, because she got the reading, honey, that will work for you. And this is one reason I love to do the personal readings by video, because I want you to always remember that none of us are ever so alone, that you're the only one experiencing what you're experiencing on this planet. You're not the only one, honey. All right, so let's see what we have for Janine, please and thank you. All right, we're going to start here. You're asking yourself questions. You reflect inwardly. The Hermit is coming out on your side of the energy, saying you have the ability to look within yourself for your own guidance. The Hermit is also a very solitary figure. Journeys alone. This is your journey. This is your life. Because I hear live your life. Whoa. Okay, so this is you living your life, trusting your own inner guidance. You have to remember too, when you're trusting your own inner guidance, others don't always get it, because that's your inner guidance. It's not coming through their inner for them to understand. Now, on his side, we have the Prince of Pentacles. So he's in this energy where he's in a phase of growth. He's got goals and things that he needs to work on. He's still got growth to do. There's room for growth. He could be holding on to things and ideas that he wants to plant that have not come up into fruition. He had not finished yet, right? The connection between you is final thought. So it's like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And he may not like it. He may want you to not do what you want to do, or not see things the way you want to see them. Okay. But the perspectives that you have, the choices that you're making, the conversation, I do see you coming with love, okay? But self-love is more, self-love is needed in this conversation, because what's happening is you're looking for a certain response from him. That's funny, because this came out recently in my own experience. So yeah, you're looking for a certain response for him. He's not giving you the response that you would like to see. How do you still hold that cup of love, even though that may be the case? That is something for you to ponder and think on. The guidance is the 5 of Cups. Everybody has their different feelings about things. And there's got to be a level of respect that, he doesn't feel the way you do. He doesn't see things the way you do. And, you can't make him respect what you do, how you do, or how you see things. You just can't force it into another person. Okay. So let's see some more about this. Okay, you're soul searching yourself. You're trusting your inner guidance, and you're choosing what you want to do. 7 of Cups. You're choosing what you want to do. All right. And him, how's he looking at you? He's looking at you with the 3 of Wands, hoping for something better. He's waiting for something from you, he's waiting for you to see things his way. He could be feeling like you feel like he doesn't understand, and he's hoping to get the type of reaction response from you. Okay, 9 of Swords, but there's fears in between each other. Okay, and I feel like there's fears, okay, about cooperation. Okay, interesting, because the 10 of Swords that was there went down to the 9 of Swords. Okay, so something is over. There's some disagreement because there's fear in between. Maybe he's afraid of the choices of what will come for you. Okay, or you're afraid of telling him. Are you afraid to talk to him? Because if you're afraid to talk to him, that fear is going to materialize really easily. Okay. Prince of Cups and what you need to know. So what you need to know is he loves you. He loves you. He will hear you. And yes, he is guided by spirit, but so are you. There's something here about understanding that those paths aren't always going to meld well. Those paths aren't always going to gel well. Let me see. The guidance again is the 3 of Pentacles. How can we be in a more cooperative energy? Now, look, I see you here. I see this is you designing in your life. Okay. And then I see this is him. He's got his own design. So you each have a different design. You have different energies, different ways of being. Okay. And I'm hearing, remember that your closest relations tend to be your strongest soulmates, here to help your soul grow. So you're being triggered and he's being triggered. Okay. In your energy, you're coming up as a King of Pentacles right now. So you're stable, you're solid, you know what you want, you have integrity. Okay, you're showing up with honesty. You're looking for him to stay consistent with you. I hear you're looking for him to stay consistent with you and show up in a supportive role. I'm hearing show up in a supportive role. Be more supportive of what I say. But what's happening is with the 9 of Cups, interesting. He has his own wish fulfillment going on. So he has what he wants showing up. Interesting. Does he get it's almost like comfort with the way he responds. That's in his comfort zone. So it's like, this is what I know how to do. Okay. 9 of Cups, I'm not sure, is he a drinker? I'm just looking at all those cups are like folks are drinking. He's looking for you to give him the answers that he wants to hear. He's looking for you to tell him what he wants to hear. What is it that he really wants from you? I'm hearing, what is it that he really wants from you? What is it that he really wants from you? What is he looking for from you? What is he wanting from you? What he's wanting from you is the Prince of Wands. He's wanting for you to go out and while I'm here, and go out and sow your royal oats. Go out and do something different. Go out, and he wants you to do something different. Take a risk, take an adventure. Okay, what is it that you want from him? 8 of Swords. You want him to you want him to be on the same page with you. You want him to get in. It's like you want him to understand that you have your own perspectives and your own point of view. That's what is coming through. Okay. All right. So yeah, he wants to see you do what he wants you to do. He wants to hear you say what he wants you to say. What is it that's coming up when you communicate with him? Well, I see fears are coming up. Okay. I see final answers are coming up. So it's like you both are set in your ways, afraid to do, afraid to give in, set in your ways. Show me what is happening in between the two of you when you try to communicate together. The Hangman and the Tower. Look, there's this. So it's like your own expectations of each other. You know, there's got to be new perspective. You guys have your own expectations of what each other do. Okay, strong expectations of what each other should do. But you're both being asked in this, what's happening here, to have a different perspective, right? He says shit to hurt your ego. He doesn't see things your way. That's what I'm seeing. He needs to see your side of the experience and realize that you're not going to think or respond or speak from him, but from yourself, that you're a whole different person with your own ideas and perspectives and the things that matter to you. And him, like, this ego strike energy, he's saying shit and you're whatever he says, you take it offensively because you're taking it, I'm hearing you're taking it as though it actually was about you. If you would listen to him and his responses to you as an opportunity presented for him as a sounding board so he could hear what's coming out of his mouth, instead of taking it as an offense or a hurt that he's doing, or he just doesn't understand me. Some of the things he's saying to you are what he needs to hear himself, is one of the things that I'm hearing. Let me see. I hear he feels sorry about it when he is when he goes off too much, or when he says certain things. Let's see what you need to know. Temperance, patience, time. And this is, two people have to choose to get along. You both have to choose to get along. Okay. So what's the guidance to help here? The Devil. This is an opportunity for both of you to work on healing the trigger issues. That's why this situation is coming up like it is. One moment. Yeah, this is an opportunity to heal the triggers. It's all about the triggers, baby. You guys are just triggering the fuck out of one another. There's got to be a willingness to work together in the energy of respect for one another. For the cooperation to set in. You should be working together. You guys are on the same team. When you look at the big picture of things, you're on the same team. You both want what's best for each other. But let me see. What's the core issue? What's the core issue? I'm hearing, what's the core issue? The Four of Wands and, whoa, the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. So the core issue is on your side. You have Four of Wands energy. On his side, he has Four of Pentacles energy. This just really looks like somebody who's holding on to a lot it looks like he's holding on to a lot from the past, and here you are trying to start some new foundations and start some new things. Yeah, I see that's a core issue, and so those two ideas are clashing inside of you guys. Yeah. So let me see what you can expect unfolding in the connection between the two of you. What you can expect is the Queen of Cups. There's gonna continue to be a lot of emotions. He's gonna have his own feelings. You can expect him to keep having his own feelings. So what's the guidance for you? He's gonna have his own feelings. He's gonna get in his feelings, okay, until he addresses them. The guidance for you is remember that he's still got a lot of stuff to heal from his past and his childhood. And remember that even though he shows up as the Queen of Cups, you show up as the King of Cups. So he may be intuitive and all of that stuff, and he's got a lot of feelings going on, and you can expect him to do that. But your job is to remember and show a higher level of emotional mastery and remember where he's coming from as well and why he's the way he is. And children have their opinions and their ideas about parents. That's what I can say. Childhood issues are at play. Okay. What else can you reveal about this situation for her? Thank you. And the Fool is here. The less you care about how he responds to you, it may seem hard at first, but it's gonna make him change. So the more you're able to not show a reaction to the responses that he's giving you, is going to show him that shit ain't working with you no more. Okay, it's not working. So anywhere where you argue back, anywhere where you talk back, you get in your feelings, you get hurt, you respond from that place of hurt. Whatever is being your pattern whenever this happens with him, it's, wow, 7 of Pentacles. That isn't working. So it's time to switch it up. Is it called gray wall? Stonewall. I think it's called stonewall. Look up the psychology concept of stonewalling or gray walling. I think it goes by both. But it's basically when you deal with somebody who likes to use emotional tactics, it's like you cut it short, keep it to the point, and don't divulge too much information. Okay. What else is revealed? The 2 of Swords. Yeah. Because it just makes you lock heads. It causes disagreements. And it's like, peace for my peace. Chill, peace, be still energy. Okay. Intuitively, you'll know you're going to know. It's like if your intuition is telling you he's going to react this way, then, a good answer could be, you just don't want to know. I don't want to tell you. I'm not answering that. I don't have to tell you. Whatever. It's like you have the option to not get involved. You have the option to not go there. And I hear, but I'm already involved. How do I not get involved? Don't jump into the shit when he tries to throw the shit on the table. You don't have to jump in and play in it. You can leave it there with him. You don't have to respond in kind. Don't take offense to it. The triggers that are coming up in him and you are so you can both work on your own shadow aspects. You're at a different place of doing that than what he is. So it's like calculus to kindergartners. Don't try to make him see your perspective. Don't try to make him understand your perspective, your side of it, all that stuff. And he can get as pissed as he want to be, but you don't have to go there with him. He can be as mad as he want to be. That's his right. You can't control whether he's going to get mad or not, but you can control whether you're going to get mad or not. So give us, again, for guidance, final card for the guidance position, please. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Remember that at the end of the day, even though he's got a lot of triggers and some unpleasant ways about him, this is your family, okay? and you can close out the contract with him as you address how you allow him to trigger you. When you address the trigger, then he won't have no choice but to address the trigger. In other words, when you start responding differently every time he presents that, then he ain't gonna have no choice but to either work with you or walk the fuck away, because you're not gonna get in the shit with it. So that's what I see, is like, you can choose to stand there and argue and try to prove your point and make him see your way. He ain't gonna do it. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Wands. And if I remember correctly, he is married, and I wonder how much influence his marriage has over these interactions with you. You know what I'm saying? There could be a lot of influence coming from home in his own relationship, and he's projecting that onto the situation with you. I even wonder if there's some things that he's telling you that really he needs to be telling his wife and not you. Or himself, more likely himself, like stuff that he wants to tell you that pisses him off have to do with, what he needs to be doing for himself. It's projections, But here's the thing. When you have, again, calculus to kindergartners, when you have somebody who's just not willing to hear, to learn, the Bible says, stop throwing your pearls to swine. Okay, stop throwing your pearls to swine. He has anger issues that he hasn't dealt with, and if you can't get him to see your point, then, and you've already tried this and you've tried to do it the best way possible, then what else can you do but let it go and let it be what it is? He's not married. Okay, so y'all live together. Okay, so that could be part of the issue too. He living with you, and you're the provider. So, now that I know that consciously, I'm looking at what cards had come out. Anywhere where you're doing too damn much, you might need to stop doing too damn much. And you know where that doing too damn much is. For him, because it feels crappy every time you do it. So what is that too damn much, right? So you might want to look at that. What are you doing too damn much and it feels crappy every time you do it for him? That's going to have to come to some change. So there's a lot of deep-seated emotions going on with him that he hasn't quite processed yet. He get carried away emotionally. He doesn't have emotional mastery. He's in a position with you to try to attain some, you can't change the cycle for him, but you can change it for yourself. The less you respond to that shit, the more in your power you'll be. And I've done this with my child living together, where I'll trigger the fuck out of her, and at the end of the day, I ain't standing here listening to this shit. I'm going to my room. I'm not going to get into it with you. I'm going to my room. And no, I didn't do that every single fucking time, but every time I didn't, I wished I had. And sometimes it's just time for these kids to get the fuck out the house. It could come down to that at some point, you know what I'm saying? And if that's what it comes down to, you have to remember. So there's something I used to tell my mother, because where my mother never let me drive her car and I had to move out and get my own place and all this shit. My mother used to give my sister her car, make sure my sister always had a ride, pay her light bill, her water bill, her phone bill, her rent, whatever the fuck. My mother did everything for my sister. And I told my mom, why you do that? Because she's worried about the grandbaby. Okay, I get that. I said, but as long as you keep doing it for them, they're not going to do it for themselves. And one of these days, you ain't going to be here to do it for her, Mom. And what's she going to do? I said, you want to help with the baby? Help with the baby. And then after my mother died, I found myself in the same position. And I'm happy to say that as far as I've last seen through the random postings that she puts of her whole life on Facebook, she's working, and I'm happy for her. She's finally found some stability for herself. But it wasn't while everybody was fucking taking care of her and doing what the fuck she want and falling for her emotional, oh, boo-hoo story, take care of me, help me out, I need you, who's gonna be here for me if you're not here for me. She didn't figure out how to be here for herself. And she didn't figure that out until our mother was dead. And I had to walk away from her too to allow it to happen. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes these things work out for the best for both of you. And that looks like being together and moving forward and learning and everybody progressing. And sometimes it looks like, we can't even do that no more. We can't be together. We can't talk together. We can't live together. None of that shit, because you're not learning. You're not applying. And I'm just enabling you to stay the same fucking way. And this is not going to work, because I'm not going to be here to do this for you. And if these people who live like that think that, somebody's always going to be there to pick up for them and take up for them, they got another fucking thing coming in this cold, cruel world. Because that's just not how the way it tends to work out so much. A person has to be self-sufficient. And when you find your self-sufficiency, then you start to find ones who truly support what you're doing. And whether they're there or not, you got you taken care of. So that's what I have for you, love. Thank you for your purchase of your personal reading. And I'm so thankful and grateful to be of service. I look forward to reading for you again. And I trust that we spoke some things here that you needed to hear to put a little bit of peace on your heart and help give you some techniques to apply. Look up that psychology phrase that I mentioned and take that into consideration. If you don't know what projection is, look up projection as well. All right. So this is what I have for you, darling. Until next time, sending you so much love and peace and happiness. 감사합니다. Gracias. Later, baby. And I'm